It is fucking cold outside, Cleet.
Yep, winter is coming.
Is here. No, it's not coming. It's here.
All
and
right.
it's going to be here for probably 6 months because we
Take
live
that,
in Utah.
J.R. Tolkien.
J.
I don't fucking know. The old guy that would never finish the books.
Okay, so you're thinking George R.R. Martin. Don't compare him to Tolkien.
Yeah, Lord of the
Lord of the Flies.
Lord of the Rings.
Oh, dude, your cat stinks.
Does she stink?
Yeah, look, and she's flaking all over me. She's got... Oh, that makes it okay. And her butthole in my face. Every time I come over.
It means she trusts you to show you that.
Oh, I'm honored, Buddha. I'm honored to have your butthole
She's like
right in my face.
Pointed at you.
So we got a kitten and another kitten because our last one unfortunately passed away. She had a lot of internal issues, but we named her Gotham. And she's really cool. I like her. She turned into my cat. I didn't want a cat, but I'm like, oh, she's my cat. Except when she shits, it clears the entire house. Like, it's the nastiest.
Wait, really?
Oh, God. It's so bad. I told my wife
Does
we're probably going to...
bury the poo in the litter?
How do you bury diarrhea, bro?
Oh.
Like, she just squirts it and then, like, kicks litter at it a little bit and then walks away. And then my pug decided that it would be
Does he eat it?
No, my pug ate it, yeah. And then he threw it up onto the couch. Me and my wife were dry heaving, trying to clean this shit up. I shit you not. I've never been so close to throwing up without throwing up before.
That's so funny.
Anyway, welcome back to The Abyss with Britton and Cleet. We're so excited to have you guys. And, of course, as always, it's important to note that got a brand new beer. Have you had a sour ale before?
Didn't we have one on the show once or no?
I don't think we've had one on the show, but this is from Epic Brewing Company. It's an India Pale Ale, and it's tart and juicy sour IPA. Is it too sour?
That's gross.
You don't like it?
Yeah, it tastes like grapefruit. Yeah.
Oh, I don't like grapefruit. I hope it's not.
So it reminds me of.
It's citrus, it says. I like the sour ones. They have like a sour blueberry one.
Take a sip. Does it taste like grapefruit?
Oh, yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, no.
I'll still drink it. You can't.
No, we have to drink it. That's kind of the unwritten rule here, but I don't like grapefruits. That upsets me. I grabbed a bunch because I've talked about it several times, but the liquor store by our house just opened.
To be fair, there's a picture of a grapefruit. That's a grapefruit.
Oh, the big grapefruit right in the front.
Yeah.
I don't know how I overlooked that. I apologize, but anyway, like I was saying, the new liquor store opened up. It is the nicest liquor store I've ever been to.
Yeah, in Utah, they make a lot of money because there's like 10.
Well, and the article was like, they opened it in conservative Utah County. Oh, boy. I have never seen it empty. They're like, yeah, I think people wanted their alcohol. So it's pretty awesome. But anyway, we got a special episode because we have another viewer submission, and this comes from Ryan. Him and his girlfriend have actually sent us a couple messages about listening to the show on road trips and stuff. Big fans of the show. Big fans, and we really appreciate it. So we are going to be covering a topic he suggested, which are Darwin Awards. Now, I have never heard of Darwin Awards, Clete. What are they?
Well, it's when someone decides not to propagate the species due to bad decisions.
Okay, so it's like natural selection at its finest.
Yeah.
Okay. Does it always result in
intelligence?
Does it always result in death? Or is it just stupid decisions?
Eventually, over time, in enough situations.
I mean, I guess that was a stupid question. Everything results in death eventually, but are there just injuries or just stupid mistakes?
And
I've never read a Darwin Award.
He never propagated the species. Can you imagine that on a gravestone?
Oh, that would be great. Imagine
used a torch to light a cigarette while he was having a gasoline fight.
Imagine what the eulogy is at that funeral.
Oh, wait. That's Zoolander, right? Almost. Okay, they're having a gasoline fight in Zoolander, and the guy lights a cigarette. And the
Such
guy's
a great
like,
movie.
No!
Explode.
Never light a cigarette in a freak gasoline fight. I totally butchered that quote.
I know, it's pretty good, though. You sounded just like it, man.
Thank you.
So you like Zoolander then? So, okay. So
I was younger, and it appealed to my brain then.
Okay. Then, but maybe if you watched it now.
I probably still would like it because of the nostalgia. I still remember like the hand model. Us hand models are different from you regular models.
Oh,
His
God.
hands were like perfectly preserved.
I haven't seen that before. I haven't seen that in a long time. I've seen it before. Did you ever watch the second one?
No.
It's a waste. Don't even do it. It's like one of those things. It's like Dumb and Dumber. Just leave it at the original. Don't try and capitalize any more on it. But yeah, so anyway, again, Ryan, thank you so much for suggesting. He's actually sent a couple suggestions our way. We'll cover it, but we thought the Darwin Awards would be a pretty good one to cover.
A little different from our content.
Yeah, a little different.
We'll explore.
So it looks like you've already got the first one pulled up, so go ahead and...
Okay, yeah. So I love this title. It's called The Pinnacle of Stupidity.
Wow.
There's no downhill after this.
That escalated quickly.
It's as stupid as it gets. In the end, Cold was not the culprit. October 28th, 2019, Japan. Hands are numb, but must operate smartphone, muttered 47-year-old Ted Zhu to his live stream audience as he skittled and stumbled up a snow-covered,
Shubashiri?
Shubashiri Trail of Mount Fuji. Okay, so before we start, the worst way to go is like during like a live stream. Like imagine like we finally get popular and we're like, hey, we're at this haunted house and we just want to show you guys. And then all of a sudden like you die in Dale and Tucker versus Evil. Like a little thing comes down, hits your head.
Yeah, but I mean, the Darwin, I feel like it's like you're doing something dumb. Like if we're live streaming while riding a unicycle down a fucking highway or something, maybe.
No, I'm just saying I would be afraid. The worst way to go in life is in a live stream. That's all I'm saying. That'd be the worst. Like, we finally made it, guys. We finally made it. This is the best day of my... And then that's it.
It just cuts over. And that's Enter the Abyss, folks. Cleet has entered the abyss for good.
He's not coming back. Okay, back to the story. I wish I had brought some heat packs, he lamented. And then he was heard to say, wait, I think I'm slipping.
Oh, God.
62 miles west of Tokyo, iconic Mount Fuji is one of Japan's 3 holy mountains, a 2,389-foot volcanic summit visited by religious pilgrims, mountain climbers, and sightseers.
Okay.
Seems like he's a native, so like he should like understand that it's cold.
Yeah.
Like it's like us like going right now up like a hike, like up Timpanogos or something like that. The trek is cold and slippery, even during the brief summer season, when amenity stations are staffed and available for the benefit of climbers. In the off-season, the stations are closed and mountain conditions are downright hostile and inhospitable. A winter climber needs the proper gear, climbing experience, and a booster pack of common sense. Tetsu, alas, lacked all 3.
Oh, poor guy.
Uh-oh. Wearing street clothes suitable for a typical October day in Tokyo. I don't know what that is, but I assume it's mild. Maybe a T-shirt, maybe a sick tattoo on your arm.
They said it's a brief summer season, so I'm guessing October's not very warm.
Even for us in October, you could pass with a T-shirt and not die,
Oh, easily.
So he was carrying nothing more than a pair of climbing poles.
Jesus.
Tetsu fired up his smartphone and proceeded up the Shibashiri Trail, which incidentally most climbers use only for descent. Live streaming from the casino video sharing platform, he entitles his video, "Let's Go to Snowy Mount Fuji." In hindsight, the title implies that Tetsu considered Snowy Mount Fuji as safe as a ski resort or Christmas tree farm.
Christmas tree farm?
You don't know it? Oh, yeah,
When you go shopping for Christmas trees.
So viewers began tuning in, following his happy John up the ash-covered trail. This is really sad.
And you're laughing? This is really sad. Ha ha.
This is the same laughing from last episode. Ashes soon turned to snow, and then a deep snow. Tetsu viewers were now being treated to a litany of complaints about cold, numb hands and a bitter lack of hot packs. Those watching might have started to feel a bit badly for Tetsu. This is a good time for him to turn back and resume a life. Keyword, a relatively one in like anonymity. A turning point, as it were. But the urge to continue, perhaps motivated by reluctance to disappoint his viewers, encouraged Tetsu to trudge farther into the obvious and imminent danger.
He just sees people like bling, 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 like logging. He's like, I'm up to like 3,000 people.
It just keeps going up.
I can't bitch out now.
I just broke 3,500 live viewers.
Finally, I'm here.
What am I, Keanu Reeves? Joe Rogan? Continuing social media commentary as he juggles climbing poles and his smartphone in his frostbitten mitts, Tetsu demonstrates a classic case of misplaced priorities when he states that despite his numb extremities, he must continue to operate his live stream.
There's nothing more important. Not even your life.
This guy's like, he's motivated.
There's nothing more important than getting this climb done.
It's so hard to type this right now.
No hot packs.
His viewers no doubt noticed that the trail suddenly became narrower. The protective fence has ended, and he was perilously close to the brink. He has now passed the point of no return. There is absolutely nothing his viewers could do except tune out in disbelief, or perhaps place wagers, amongst themselves on the odds of him returning intact. See, I thought like they were gonna bet like when he was gonna die.
No, they're like the odds against how he's going to die. Like, can you imagine he's gonna fall off the cliff? No, he's gonna slide all the way down.
That's so funny. I was just thinking about the horror movie Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, I love that
Dude,
one.
it's so funny because they're taking wagers on like what
Every year, what's gonna kill him?
Artifact they're gonna pick up. What thing is gonna kill who?
And that one guy's like, "It's better be the merman."
Oh,
he always
God.
wants the merman.
And then the merman killed him.
That's so great. That's poetic justice.
Oh, this place is slippery. Getting dangerous, he belatedly notices. I'm trying to walk by the rocks. Yes, rocks. It's a steep downhill.
God.
And then exclamation point. Does his audience hear the reassuring sounds of Crepons gripping the ice as he continues past the end of the safety fence into uncertain territory? Of course not. He did not bring crampons.
Crampons.
What? Tampons. What the fuck is crampons, man? Let's look up crampons.
I think it's like
Pull it up real quick.
it's snowshoes. Yeah, it's those you like strap them on it's like cleats almost, but you strap them to your feet.
Oh, just like cleats. Got it. I understand that reference. The slope at this point is 30 degrees. As anyone still watching could see, in his continued play-by-play march along an increasingly risky path, Tetsu frequently cautions himself against falling. Some of his viewers might have given a wry chuckle at his sudden realization of what he had gotten himself into. His inappropriate footwear now begins failing him as he trips and stumbles on.
I bet he's in flip-flops. He's in flip-flops, a
A
t-shirt.
Hawaiian shirt, has a pineapple pizza.
He's got cargo shorts on.
Aloha, viewers.
We're climbing this mountain today in the snow.
Rock
Forget the
lobster.
crampons, but I do have the tampons.
More than once, he asks himself whether he is on the right track. Viewers already know the answer. He is on the right track to death. Astonishingly, close to the summit, for an amateur winter hiker, Tetsu at last utters the anticlimactic words, "Wait, I'm slipping." Experienced Mount Fuji climber says, if you start slipping, you have one chance at self-arrest before it's too late. Even now, Tetsu might drop his phone and jab his climbing poles into the ground, but no. In an instant, it becomes apparent that his smartphone is the more intelligent one. Still live streaming away, Tetsu begins an uncontrolled slide down the rocky, snowy slope.
Oh, Jesus.
Viewers are treated to a spectacle of feet flailing and poles tumbling free. A few seconds later, the phone footage abruptly stops.
They're treated to it. Like, it's like a treat. They're like, oh, yeah. Everyone who bets.
Get him.
He fell.
Get him.
Yeah.
The final chilling images show a climbing pole frozen in mid-flight. His viewers promptly alerted authorities. The 47-year-old's lifeless body was found the next day at the altitude of 9,800 feet, 1,000 meters away from where he began his fall. But for a little preparedness, the hero was lost. Gloves and crampons, and I'm probably butchering his special shoes that he was missing, and a sprinkle sense was all Tetsu needed to create a spectacular live stream.
Because at the end of the day, that's really all that's important is that live stream.
Oh, yeah. On the ascent of Japan's holy mountain. And he might have had another 47 years to relive and enjoy that experience. Watching the video, one can almost feel the mind-numbing cold Tetsu describes. But, in the end, cold was not the culprit. You know, at first I would think that this is just someone who fakes it, because it's kind of outlandish. He's just sitting there in a t-shirt. We're going to go up this mountain. Then he falls. It almost sounds scripted. No, he died.
Yeah.
Sad.
But it just goes to show you, we are so attached to getting likes and views. If he didn't have his phone on a live stream, he'd be turned back. Easy. He's like, I've got to get the people what they want.
Or maybe he wouldn't have fallen because he's probably about to fall and he's like, should I grab the ski pole or should I grab the phone?
The phone. The people need to see this. I've been practicing my gymnastics.
Yeehaw.
All right. Well, that was sad. Anyway, so to answer my previous question, I'm guessing they
didn't propagate the species.
Didn't
after
propagate
that.
the species.
Yeah.
All right. So this one is the 2019 Darwin Award winner. It's called Two Texans Die Trying. 24th May 2019 in Louisiana. Wait, I thought it says two Texans. All right, we'll figure it out. Like ill-fated Madame Curie, may their experiment be a warning to you, my friend. South of Lake Charles, Black Bayou drawbridge was closed to cars and open to boats. Evidently, this was an irresistible Friday night challenge to Texas Man, 32, and Texas Man 2, aged 23. 32 and 23. Interesting. So the bridge is closed, but that just means that it's up. It's like creating two ramps.
Yeah.
And so I know this is going.
Yeah, they're going to jump
They're
it.
going to jump it. Like, what's that show? Dukes of
Yeehaw.
Hazzard. The Chevy Cruze. Oh, they're driving a Chevy Cruze. They're going to make it. The Chevy Cruze stopped on Black Bayou Bridge, and a Texas man emerged and pushed up the safety gate for the drawbridge. His second mistake was to jump back in as the driver accelerated rapidly up the open drawbridge ramp, thinking, "Shoot the gap!" Yeah, this is going to be really good. You cannot live long if the road's IQ is higher than your own. In this IQ test, our double Darwin winners failed. Indeed, they set a new low. Because these Texas men, unlike the Blues Brothers, lacked cop tires, cop engine, cop suspension, and a mission from God. A witness observed a passenger emerge and push up the arms of the safety gate, then get back in while the driver backed up a bit and accelerated hard over the drawbridge edge. Over the bridge and through the waves, our double Darwin winners paved new ground and demonstrating a new dead end leading off the path of evolution.
Could you imagine just being the observer of that? You're just kind of just sitting there in the park eating a sandwich. And
See
you
the
just
bridge
some
go
guy.
up.
Yeehaw!
You hear the car rev. Some guy jump in. It's like, "Arr!" The Shoot the Gap tragedy happened at 2 a.m. Wow, I don't think there's any
Okay,
passerbys
right.
there. The car sank from sight, and it was no easy task to locate the wreck. Louisiana State Police divers eventually located and lifted the vehicle with pontoons and recovered 2 drowned bodies from the Black Bayou. So yeah, there you go.
Come
So
on,
they jumped
Cletus,
a bridge,
let's
and that
go
was
for a
it.
ride.
Should we go find a bridge, Cleet? We can use your little Honda Accent.
Yeah, every 110 horsepower it's got.
There we
It's
go.
going to need it all. Okay. The next story is rhino poacher killed by elephant and eaten by lions.
Oh my God!
Jesus.
So
Wait. Okay, so yeah, the elephant killed him, so at least he wasn't eaten alive, you know. That's probably
killed
the way
by
I'd want to go.
elephant and eaten by lions.
Would
That's
you-
like circle of life right there.
Would you rather be stomped by an elephant, survive, and then get eaten by lions?
Oh God, I'm
See?
thinking he might have gotten gored by an elephant and thrown like 3 miles into a lion den.
Let's find out. South Africa, April 2019. It makes a funny headline, but it's no laughing matter, so don't laugh. Don't you laugh, Britain.
Just serious all the way through on this, bro.
Wow. The elephant trampled and lion digested poacher had illegally crept into a national park with murder in mind. For there is money to be made from the rhino's horn, and therefore poachers hunt and kill these big, beautiful animals. Poor rhino, sad victim of the human greed for money. Some rhinoceros species suffered recent extinctions, and all species are endangered. Trashing our irreplaceable planetary home is a Darwin Award in the making for doomed mankind. Stupid sapiens. This guy
Wow.
does not like people.
Stupid sapiens.
Human extinction? Bring it on. This guy really hates people. Humans are turning this planet. Okay, come on out. Is there any story about this guy, the rhino guy? We're going to keep reading it, but it seems like he's just going to shit on humans for the next 10 minutes. Humans are turning this planet into a bloodthirsty abattoir as we slaughter species after species for no good reason.
Okay.
This is like a pitch to be a vegetarian or a vegan. Just wait.
It was like PETA.
Yeah. The killing of rhinoceros.
Rhinoceros.
I'm going to keep it. Is especially barbarous. According to the New York Times article, the target animal is drugged until it cannot move. Then the horn is hacked off, an innocent face, and the large mammal is left to bleed to death in agony and fear.
I hate poachers.
Yeah, they're not good people. Hey, you rhinoceros buying barbarian. That money you spend on rhino horn profits, criminals who are slaughtering our beloved relatives. I, for one, applaud the elephants and lions who cry out for justice.
I was really hoping we'd get like an actual story about the poacher who was killed by the elephant and eaten by lions. I felt like it was just more of like a, hey, fuck all you
Grandstanding.
poachers. Bad, bad, bad. Okay, well, there you go. 2019 Darwin Awards. This one is Pilot Patrick's in-flight shower. I don't know what to make of that
Sorry,
title.
Bathing while he was flying? Because that's not a big plane, people. There's not a shower in it.
Yeah, no, that looks like a little like a commercial plane.
Okay, I'm going to make a prediction. He's in a storm. You know, he opens a window, puts his face out. Something happens.
It's like a drive-by shower type
Yeah.
thing. 14th October 2015, Montana. The United States is a sizable chunk of continental crust, yet people do purchase planes on the opposite coast before flying home is easy compared to driving. Just hop airports, refueling at each hop until you arrive at your home airport. Pilot Patrick, 52, was up to the task of hopping his new plane home. So he bought a plane, now he's flying it home. Must be nice to live that kind of lifestyle. Licensed to fly commercial aircraft, Patrick had 10,000 hours of flight time, what a flex, and an instructor certificate. But during the first 2 takeoff climbs, aviation fuel, at 100 octane gas, had entered the cockpit and sloshed around his feet.
Oh.
Wow.
Did he light a cigarette?
I don't know. We're going to find out. So so it said his first 2 takeoff climbs. So it happened twice. The cockpit is filling with gasoline. So
He bought a bad plane.
do you return the plane or do you just say, it's probably just new plane?
You know, I would light a cigarette and turn around.
Okay. Darwinism at its finest. At the 3rd airport in Missoula, the pilot called a mechanic familiar with the airplane and discussed the issue of the fuel leakage. The pilot told this mechanic that he had someone inspect the fuel system, and they did not find anything wrong. Did they really
That's
look
not a
close
good
enough?
mechanic. Yeah, it's normal when that happens. Don't worry.
No,
you know?
it's just a little bit of fuel. And
The cockpit is an extra gas tank.
Oh,
You just
yeah.
fill it up with gas.
because this says it's sloshed around his feet, so it's not like a little bit.
It was an empty gas tank.
He's like in a kiddie pool of gasoline at this point. The mechanic, however, wasn't buying it. Reasonably enough, he or she recommended not flying, in capitalized, bold, underline, until the issue, a fuel venting problem, was resolved. Seems pretty logical. You don't fly the fucking plane if you've got gasoline in your britches.
Only person I listen to is God.
Jesus, take the wheel. But did the pilot listen? Well, we wouldn't be talking about it in the Darwin Awards if he did. Sometimes familiarity breeds contempt. This experienced pilot overruled the mechanic's recommendation and said he would fly the plane anyway, but as a concession to safety, he would fly with the electrical system offline. So he's gonna fly, but don't worry, he'll turn electrical off. This is referred to as flying in the dark with no instruments. Patrick's decision is especially baffling because the aircraft was
tell me it was
newly
night.
purchased
Okay.
and its trustworthiness not yet established. He said, don't say it, it's a night. It's
Please fly at night with no instruments.
no instruments, cockpit full of gas. To put the situation in plain English, I think we got it pretty well. During every takeoff, the cockpit got a shower of aviation fuel. Yet Patrick had to ask if that was bad.
I don't need no instruments when I can smoke cigarettes.
Now, I'm not one of
That'll
them.
guide me.
I'm not one of them mechanic types, but is this okay? I'm getting showered with fuel. Told in no uncertain terms to stop flying the aircraft, his response was essentially, I got this. And that chap who supposedly checked the fuel system invented a ruse to convince the mechanic all was well.
This is a feature of the plane.
It's one of them showers you go type deals. Subsequently, the aircraft took off from Missoula International Airport, but made a sudden swift turn and crashed, exploding into a fireball. The NTSB report states the pilot was likely distracted by fuel entering the cockpit and failed to maintain adequate airspeed as he returned to the airport to rectify the fuel problem, resulting in aerodynamic stall or spin. So he's distracted because he's got gasoline flying into his eyeballs.
I was going to say in his eye holes, yeah.
He's just like, it's fine. I got the electrical system off. Fucking idiot.
Damn.
Full
dude.
of experience, empty of common sense, Darwin Award winner for good and sufficient cause, Pilot Patrick, we salute you.
And he never propagated the species again.
It's very good you make that clear because I was curious if that was the case.
So I got one closer to home. This one is called Dynamite Rancher. Dynamite Rancher.
Why is that close to home? Oh, it's Utah.
Yeah, Utah, May 8, 2009. Brent, 59, found a stash of dynamite in a shed on his 5,000-acre ranch.
Was it spewing gasoline?
Hopefully not.
Did he drive his lawnmower into the shack?
Located 3 miles from the ATK Theocol Booster Rock testing area.
So, hang on. That's kind of crazy because my grandpa used to work for ATK.
Yeah, that's interesting.
They build rocket engines, dude.
This must have happened close to where he was at. Details about the stash are few. Chief Deputy Kevin Potter said, whether the dynamite was his or whatever, That is yet to be determined. So, like, did he just have a stash of dynamite?
Whether that was his or whatever. Like, that's the thing. It's his or whatever. I don't care. He had dynamite.
It's like, when the government comes down to my place, tell me what to do. I'll show them.
Regardless of who dynamite it is. He blew up.
We didn't know. It all went, doesn't matter who owned the dynamite.
It just went kaboom.
Whatever its origins, the rancher was alarmed. And I'd be scared if I found a bunch of dynamite under my porch little area.
It's like, oh, that's kind of crazy.
And he had good reason to be. Old dynamite sweats nitroglycerin, and once it sweats, it is unstable and can pop anytime.
Oh, I did not know that about dynamite.
Yeah, next time we find dynamite, do not toss it to me.
If it's sweaty, you leave the dynamite alone and you call authorities.
Dynamite sweaty? I don't know.
That's kind of weird. Stupid dynamite.
This well-known fact was indubitably known by the rancher.
So you can say indubitably, but you can't fucking say half of the other words you attempt.
Yeah, just
indubitably. That was a one-shot go, bro. I'm proud of you.
But this stash of flash, are you serious?
Stash of flash
was something he felt he could deal with.
I found myself a sweaty stash of flash.
So, like, if I found dynamite, I guess there's like two options, right? You can alert the authorities, or you get a little like firecracker and you just throw it at the pile.
Oh, those are your two options.
Yeah.
There's no other options.
Yeah.
You call the cops or you throw firecrackers at it.
Like your neighbors are like, what the
Your house just went off. I don't know what happened. First you were throwing dynamite and then your fucking house exploded. Yeah, because that's smart.
You just see a guy throw a fucking firecracker at his house
And then it explodes. What kind of fucking firecrackers are you using, Billy? It leveled your whole house.
Sorry. Okay, I lost my spot. The rancher removed the dynamite from his shed, placed it in a field of knee-high grass, backed away about 40 yards, and fired a gun at it. Oh!
See, that's cooler than yours.
Yeah.
It had a fucking gun.
It's safer than a firecracker because you got to be pretty close. The dynamite's response was to send shrapnel back at the rancher, and the shrapnel scored a solid hit on the man's head. Damn. The Box County Sheriff's Office said they were still looking into it, and the dynamite exploded for some reason. Oh, come on.
For some reason.
But the first medical team on the scene reported that the man shot the dynamite from 40 yards. Brent L. was airlifted to the hospital where he passed away. So I feel for the guy because that seemed like a pretty safe thing. Like, to a degree,
did it?
You know, like in Mythbusters, they got the protective shit. But, you know, half the time I'm like, dude, just do it.
Just do
It's fucking, you don't
and
need
this
that.
is the one reason why. See,
Like-
there's always a reason. You know, you see the
To
stupidest...
be honest, I could see myself doing that.
Yeah,
So
I can too. But you see the stupidest signs, right? Think about this. When you see a sign in a business or on the road, it's because some fucker did what it's telling you not
coffee
to do.
hot. Because if I were to find a stack of dynamite, I'd have two questions. How am I going to blow it up? And how far away do I need to be to make this safe? And I would feel like 40 yards might be something. I'd be like, yeah, this is it.
So you find dynamite. There's no question in your mind you're blowing it up.
Oh, yeah, especially if you're in a rural area.
Yeah, what if you're like 10 yards under, there's like a line of dynamite, and you just blow up half the
Well,
continent?
first of all, who the fuck has been on my property to build some weird dynamite
It
trap?
wasn't always your property, was it, bro? There are those that came before you. You're not the first owner of this here property.
No, Brent, I think you were okay.
Oh, see, that one's not as... I don't know. That one's not as dumb as you might think. But, okay, so... This one, I have to be honest, I clicked on this one for the tile, but it's called the missionary position. So this could go a couple ways. I don't think it's going to go the way that I'm thinking it's going to go, though. World explorer or Christian martyr. The most isolated tribe on Earth kills selfie seeker. Oh, God. That's kind of
Too bad it wasn't a live stream. Hey, looking over here with these tribes. They seem pretty angry.
Say hello, sir. We have 30 people watching right now.
I'm only here for the viewers.
14th November 2018, Andaman Islands, India. John Allen Chow, a self-proclaimed world explorer inspired by Livingston and Jesus, was killed by the very tribe of natives he was offering eternal life. According to the BBC in Delhi, Chow bribed 6 fishermen to ferry him to the off-limits island so he could offer the Sentinelese tribe gifts of scissors, a soccer ball, and Jesus.
Yeah, I know that tribe, so it's banned to go there by the government that lives by it because they like literally will kill you. They hate outsiders.
Yeah. And so he bribed 6 fishermen that he didn't know to take him to this island.
They have to, because they'll kill fishermen. They'll actually like swim up to their boats and fucking kill them.
Yeah, but like this is how bad things start. How do you think this is going to end good? If you're Mr. Chow, I'm sorry that you had to die, but
Yeah.
really?
If I was going to preach the gospel, I'd bring a gun and a Bible. Again, I'm not religious, but that way you'd be
You
like,
had me fooled.
be eternal life or else.
Yeah. In a letter he wrote to his family, this Vancouver resident and Alabama native said he wanted to make contact with the 60,000-year-old tribe because, and I quote, "The eternal life of this Sentinelese tribe is at hand." He paddled to the island in a kayak and was immediately attacked by arrows but continued walking, stated the global news agency AFP. The fisherman then witnessed the natives tying a rope around his neck and dragging his body along the shore. They were clearly rejecting his gifts.
Take that, Jesus.
He's like, I brought you some scissors, a soccer ball, and Jesus.
I can imagine they just look at him, grab the scissors and stab him, and then hit him with the soccer ball.
If you don't know, like, these outsiders, you don't know what the world is, and you see this guy running at you with, like, a sharp, pointy object and then a sphere.
Well, there's history of them meeting people, and they weren't very good to them. So in oral tradition of those people, that's why they hate outsiders so much.
Yeah. We could probably cover this tribe in general, but I don't know.
That's
Anyway,
why I'd bring
Darwin
a Bible
was-
and a gun. Maybe a machine gun.
The tribe.
You committing genocide, please? It doesn't sound religious at all.
I was trying to talk through it, but then I just couldn't.
Did I say a machine gun, Britain? I meant a minigun. Fucking Alien versus Predator?
What is this shit? I'm talking crossbow. The tribe, the most isolated on Earth, has taken a well-documented, zero-tolerance approach to visitors since the British occupation almost wiped them out during the 1800s. It's no surprise Chow's remains remain uncovered. Was he a martyr as friends claim on Instagram, a missionary according to his parents, or just a selfish selfie seeker? Or a genocidal maniac bringing the tribe life-threatening disease, as his Bible quote from Revelation 7 indicates? He said he wanted to see them around the throne of God, worshiping him in their own language, as Revelation 7, 9, 10 states. We'll never truly know the answer, since the tribe doesn't seem to have updated their social media accounts in quite some time.
All right, next one.
Let's do it.
As buried as the treasure. Colorado, March 17th, 2020. That's recent. Michael Sexton, 58, read of a buried treasure in a book authored by an eccentric and controversial art dealer named Forrest Fenn. That's a superhero name. They always start with the same letter.
Forrest
Bruce Banner,
Fenn.
Peter Parker, In the thrill of the chase, Fenn claims that he himself buried $2 million worth of gold coins and other artifacts somewhere out in the Rocky Mountains, and gives clues throughout the book hinting at the secret location in 9 poetry verses. If this is the same treasure that was found this year, that would be interesting, because there was one. I'll have to look it up. Temptation was great for Michael. Although 350,000 others had gone looking for the buried box, no one is known to have found it. Worse, 4 men died in the effort. Unlike the rest of them, however, Michael knew where the treasure was buried, based on his interpretation of the clues in the book. So he talked a 65-year-old acquaintance into joining him on the treasure hunt, and their quest for quick riches began. I'm sure like every person, like a lot of the people that went to go look for the treasure, felt like they had a really good idea where that treasure was.
I think that's what sparks it. It's always like, dude, I think I know where it is. Trust me, I saw this documentary and my buddy watched it too, and we agree it's here.
They should
coordinates.
They should make a movie about this with Nicolas Cage. According to this,
I think they did. It's called National Treasure.
On the poetry on the back is written in invisible ink.
Have to use lemons and vinegar to bring it out.
In February of 2020, they headed to Dinosaur National Monument on the Colorado-Utah border. Michael was so certain he knew where the treasure was that neither he nor his colleague prepared for an overnight stay in the mountains. No doubt assuming that if they started early enough, they would be home by sunset, $2 million richer. Well, Michael was wrong. They found no treasure, and they lost their bearings. Cold, hungry, and disoriented, the future looked grim for Michael and his friend. Shivering and close to death, they were fortunately found just in time by a search and rescue team who brought them down the mountain. One would think that having survived such an experience, Michael would have learned better, but he did not.
Some would think.
It's like catching the same fish twice. 1 month later, Having sufficiently recovered, he set out for a second try. Once more, he sweet-talked the 65-year-old colleague into joining him because treasure.
I mean, why else do you need a reason to go? You're going to be $2 million richer. Just come with me.
Dude, if I was 65, he'd be like, fuck, why not?
I just retired, but now we're going to go treasure hunting? I'm in.
This time, they believed they would find it. The unfolding COVID-19 epidemic had prompted intermittent closures of Dinosaur National Monument, and hikers were cautioned that difficult terrain should be avoided so first responders could remain safe in quarantine.
Well, it's hard to climb in a mask.
Yeah, fair enough. Why don't they just get into a bubble? Little bubble man.
Boy.
But that didn't stop Michael. On Tuesday, March 17th, he left Denver with a few candy bars, 2 bottles of water, and a copy of Fenn's book and the clothes on his back. Like, I feel like you could just bring a backpack. And
Dude, he's ready.
It just seems like he's going out of his way not to, like, pack. Anyway, just outside the park, the 2 men rented snowmobiles and loaded them onto the bed of their pickup truck. The bemused rental agent watched the unprepared treasure hunters drive off towards the remote northwest boundary of the park, perhaps wondering how long the unlikely pair would last before they returned.
I feel like making bets, like on a live stream.
You gotta say something. He's probably like on Twitter, we're gonna make bets. After nightfall, the rental agent alerted local authorities. The search began. On the morning of Friday, the 20th, they found Michael's truck. On Saturday morning, they found the abandoned snowmobiles and saw Michael and his friend had unwisely continued on foot, hopefully like to try to get home. Saturday afternoon, they located the 2 men about a mile from the snowmobiles, ironically, at nearly the exact spot of the previous rescue a month earlier. Oh boy. Michael was brought back down to the mountain, but this time in a body bag. His friend barely survived and refuses to talk about their ordeal to this day.
All right, this one is called Booze Cruise Loser. 8th of September, 2018 in Massachusetts. An evening booze cruise in Boston Harbor led to the death of a 21-year-old man who was performing handstands on the railing of the ferry. Smart.
Sometimes you just gotta impress the people.
Ordered to stand down from the rail by crew, acrobatic Aaron DeBella sneaked back up as soon as the crew turned their backs. He's like, okay, I'll be done. Suckers! He was performing a maneuver described as a type of vertical push-up when his hands faltered and he toppled overboard from the Boston Harbor. Perhaps he could not swim? The crew snapped into action, focused a spotlight on Aaron, tossed him a life preserver, leapt into the harbor, and swam to within 5 feet of the booze cruiser. But sadly, he sank before they could snag him. Coast Guard spokesperson Nicole Grohl said, "We launched all our assets." Upon receiving the report of a person overboard, but to little avail, his body was found by divers 3 hours later. Young men feel immortal. They show off their physical prowess with rousing confidence. Unfortunately, their human mortality is all too real. May this be a caution to others to rein in the confidence that leads to catastrophe. There is a joke here about sperm and swimmers, but I can't find it.
And he never propagated the species. But this does remind me of those videos you see like on Facebook and YouTube where people climb like these crazy buildings that are super high. I can't watch them. It gives me anxiety.
Yeah. I watched a video. God, it was probably 10 years ago. And I had this friend that would just show me the goriest videos ever and just ruin me.
Fuck?
But this guy jumped off a high dive. It was like a concrete bridge. And there was a little piece of metal sticking up from the concrete. It hit right in his face. And it split his face in half. And then the next video is them like pushing his face back together and trying to sew
Why
it.
would they make a second?
Dude, it's nasty. I don't know. It was gross. But anyway, I mean, I think here alcohol does not mix well with your acrobatic tendencies. If you think you're doing something cool because you're drunk, you're not doing something cool. Just go to sleep. Go lay down.
I couldn't even do that drunk. Look at me, because I know I'm so uncoordinated. I just do a somersault over the edge. This one is called Road Rageaholics.
No.
Poland, February 20th, 2018. Darwin double. It's so dark.
Darwin double. That's 2 people.
After a road collision near Stary Krzyż, 2 men emerged from their damaged cars and began arguing. The argument grew into a physical fight, then shrank down to bloodstains on the asphalt when the men lurched into an adjacent lane of traffic. A lorry weighed in on the fight, permanently terminating the road rage between a 29-year-old from Krakow and a 40-year-old from Zambrów. So I'm assuming like they went into another lane of traffic and they got hit by a car.
It's just a hell of a way to say it. This one is called Masturbator Meets Hard End.
I've been really worried about this.
It was not traffic he was trying to beat.
Aha!
Aha! 22nd January 2016 in Michigan, referred to as a distracted driver. While you're driving? Are you serious right now?
No. Was he drinking booze too at the same time while gasoline was spraying out of his car?
Probably. And the mechanic said it's all right. His doctor also said it's all right, that it lasted longer than 4 hours. Clifford Ray Jones, 58, was driving without pants, without seatbelt, and with a porno flick screening on his mobile device.
You know, you laugh, but that's efficient.
See, they said it's Clifford Ray Jones. I think it's Cleet. At a wide open sunroof on a cold winter Sunday, and you have a recipe for disaster. Wow. So it's Sunday, sunroof open, nice cold weather.
It's a Sunday drive, you know.
He's watching porn, no pants, no seatbelt, and he's just
going 85.
Oh, God. He should have kept his hands on the wheel instead of the stick. In the wee hours at 3:40 a.m.? God, Clifford's Toyota went out of control on the on-ramp to I-75, rolled, and crashed, ejaculating our hero through the sunroof in a spectacular climax to his life. Oh, my God. I think that ended in the best way possible. Come and gone, Clifford and his beloved Wanky will be fondly remembered in our archives.
You imagine, like, if there was an afterlife and they're like, how'd you get here? And you're like, oh.
It was cold. I rolled the car. Let's stop talking. But, dude, you're still naked. Shut up! Wow. All right. So, yeah, Darwin Awards. Those are pretty interesting. I had an idea of what those were, but, when you start to think of people that just make very bad decisions.
It was a good suggestion. This was fun.
Yeah, it definitely was fun. And again, thank you, Ryan, for suggesting that. And really, thank you for you and your girlfriend, listening to the show. We do appreciate it.
Supporting the podcast.
Supporting everything that we do. And, keep sharing us out there. If you have other suggestions, please let us know. Enter theabysspod@gmail.com. You can shoot us on Facebook. Enter the Abyss Pod. But I think that wraps us up for tonight.
As always, thank you for entering the abyss.
Until next time.